Okay, this is important, pay attention, and I actually want to hear your opinions about this. I want to talk about the 2 reasons why I think Mercedes EQS and the entire EQ line flopped. Nobody wanted to buy these things so much that Mercedes decided to pull the plug and discontinue the whole EQ line until they come up with a better strategy for EVs. Obviously, they're not getting rid of the EVs. So the number 1 reason I think is this. If you look at it like this, head on, I actually think that the front end doesn't look bad, especially if you squat down and you start noticing the details, you pay attention to the headlights, to the grille, from the bonnet to the grille, it actually looks pretty good. The same is true about the rear end. If you look at just the rear end of this car, it doesn't look bad. On its own, just looking at this car from behind, look at the rear quarter panel, it doesn't look bad either. It actually has some Porsche Panamera vibe to it. This view, the side profile, is I think number 1 reason why people did not want to buy an EQS. I mean, look at this, what the heck? When you look at it, like this curve, this like sharp decline in the front belongs in the freaking A-Class or Mercedes B-Class. That is not luxury. That is not what an S-Class should look like. That's what ruined the whole package, and that's what really pissed people off. Now, I get it. This design follows a function. They wanted this car to be as aerodynamic as possible. They wanted to reduce drag, to improve efficiency, and it kind of works because you get 340 true miles out of this car. But in my mind, the looks matter a lot, especially in the luxury segment. If you're gonna cash out $120,000-$130,000, you want it to look nice, you want it to turn heads. Now, me personally, I'm pretty sure this is true about all of you guys too, I would sacrifice 10, 15, even 20 miles of range for a better looking car. And the reason number 2 is the build quality. I'm gonna elaborate on that when I talk about the interior of the car. For now, let's have a quick walk around, and I want to point out a few things that I think are actually good and bad in the exterior of this car. So when it comes to the exterior of the car, there are a few things that are kind of cool but also kind of like ugly. So the rims, first of all, they look amazing. From a distance, they don't look that great, but if you get really close, you start to notice that they actually look pretty good, and they are 21 inches, and for 21, I gotta tell you, running ahead, the car rides superbly. They did those like little kind of like black rim inside the machine surface to make it more aerodynamic, to get really close to the rim and start paying attention to small details like that. It looks great. If you look just at the headlights, they look good. The front grille, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of this front fascia in general, but I'm just pointing out what looks great in vacuum and what doesn't. There's a little bit of a panel gap here. This is, I'm pretty sure, not a defect, and the way this car was built, that kind of like looks a little strange, especially given that the bumper sits lower than the bonnet. Speaking of the bonnet, there's no trunk, unfortunately, so you cannot open it. You don't have like extra storage up front. The rear trunk is huge, given it's a lift back, it's not a sedan, and you can fold down the rear seats and put your skis through or whatever cargo you may have. It opens very fast, closes very fast, although be careful about your fingers because it kind of like slams down when it closes. There's a little bit of opening right there for the radiator. Speaking of the radiators, coolings and heating, this car, since it's a 2023, it does not have the heat pump. It still uses the electric heater to warm up your cabin, and that takes away a few miles of range. We have adaptive suspension, but for some reason the rear sits higher than the front, probably because the electric motor is up front or something. This one is good 4-wheel drive, by the way, to like dual motor one. You can get like smaller trims with just the one motor, and supposedly you'll get a little more range. When you get into the car, you right away feel that this is a Mercedes product. Unlike newer BMW cars, EV cars, this still feels like very much like Mercedes. So there is a family lineage that you can observe. Whether you like this like the setup, huge screen situation or not, that's up to you. It's not bad, especially because the owner said that at night you can fully turn them off so they don't distract you. There are some really beautiful interior bits, such as a windshield washer, looks really good. The steering wheel itself looks really good. Practicality is very good. There's this like huge tunnel that you can put your stuff. By the way, the owner has a huge bottle here. I was wondering what makes that sound when I drive the car. There's many USB seats. I did not find any USB-A or USB Type-B. As for the rear passengers, there's plenty of space. The floor is almost flat, so very good. Everybody, regardless of your body size, can fit in here comfortably. In this particular car, there's not much for you to do. You cannot even control your air temperature, which I think, once again, is crazy that those things are optional. But you could get this with an executive rear-end package. As the owner said, this one's the poor man's rear seats, but he chose this trim specifically because he has child seat in here. But in terms of like space and carrying people around, if you have like a couple, 2-3 children, you should have no issues with that. Panoramic sunroof is quite nice. As soon as you get into the EQS and start driving it, you have very mixed feelings. There are things that you will absolutely love and there are things that you will find very strange. For example, because of the slope of the windshield, I see the entire reflection of the dashboard in the windshield. It is just too much, and I mean it. Interior space design, you get used to it, you like it. I actually don't think that design-wise it's that bad. It's actually, I think I like it. What I love, first of all, is the ride quality. It is amazing. It's on par with S550. I would say maybe 550, it feels a little softer and more like a yacht, whether you like it or not. Whereas this one does an amazing job. Now, given this is 21-inch rims, it does an amazing job of softening all the patches and cracks on the road, at the same time giving you that S-Class feeling. The car feels heavy just like any other S-Class should feel. So it feels heavy, it feels big, but because of the low center of gravity, it also feels very grounded. So ride quality is definitely a green checkbox. What I love more than the ride quality is the steering. The way they have set up the steering column or the steering wheel, it's numb. It's electrically assisted, so it has a nice weight to it. It's pleasant to hold in your hand. The leather is really good. I think this is probably the same steering wheel it shares with S-Class or AMGs. So steering wheel itself is amazing, feels good in your hand. The turning it, it has nice kind of viscosity to it or weight to it. I love it. The way this car steers, just mind-blowing how they accomplished to make this car turn this quickly. It feels so agile, so nimble. It's mind-blowing. Really shrinks this car in terms of feel that this is a very long car, which it is, just doesn't steer like this. I mean it. Acceleration, of course, it's an EV. 0 to 60 is not that impressive. I believe it's in 5 seconds, but the instant torque, the smoothness, I'm starting to understand electric cars. Look, I am a petrol head. I know what reaction you're probably having right now in your head. I think for performance cars, gasoline makes a lot of sense. But if you think about it, gasoline is not an ideal choice for luxury cars. Because the cars like this, right, they don't get driven like a performance car. They can be, you can drive them very aggressively, but they don't get driven like a C63 or Porsche. These cars are for those who would like to commute in a serene, luxurious environment, enjoy, feel like they have accomplished something with their lives. For that, you do not want to be dealing with gasoline, oil changes, because you buy this S65, the interior is a museum piece. But then under the hood, you may have an oil leak, oil smell. You go to the gas station, the guy spills gasoline on the fender. It just ruins the whole experience. I think for luxury cars, EV makes a lot of sense. What are other benefits or advantages of EQS over its rivals? According to the owner, this car gets about 340 miles of range when it's fully charged, and he says that unlike Teslas, the range does not fluctuate significantly. It's accurate down to 1% is what he says. I haven't driven this for too long, obviously, to know. So that's amazing. So it's a true range, unlike Tesla, where it will say 250 miles an hour, and in just 20 minutes, it will say, sorry, you only have 150 left. Materials everywhere is actually of a good quality. You have Alcantara on the center tunnel, which is great. You have Alcantara on the door panel where your elbow will touch. And then the centerpiece here, it's not the leather, I believe. I think it's suede. I think it's a leather. It's just so pleasant to touch. I wish they could also put Alcantara on the roof liner here, but they put just a cloth. Let's do a build quality check. I don't know if camera picks it, guys. Probably it doesn't. But if you look carefully and closely on this paint, you start noticing a lot of orange peel or whatever it's called. Camera doesn't probably pick, but this line here hopefully tells you what I'm trying to say. Is this how Mercedes paints cars nowadays? Really? Are they using a brush roll? I mean, this car, in terms of exterior, is in great shape. It's only 2 years old car. I think this type of paint is not acceptable on a luxurious S-Class. I think we can say that the build quality is definitely not the same as in Mercedes of the 90s or 2000s, but it's not as bad as many of the videos on Instagram show it to be. Yes, the panels move, yes, they creak, but not all of them in certain spaces. Now, the seats, they are so strange on honestly, like in terms of their shape and the firmness. I'm not that tall, I'm 5.8, and no matter what I did with the settings, I could not find a comfortable spot for myself. The leather itself is not soft enough, it's just too harsh and just doesn't belong in the S-Class. In EQE or E-Class, it could be acceptable, but in the S-Class, there is no way this is okay. Build quality, like I said, is on par with the rest of Mercedes cars nowadays. So it's not worse than a regular gasoline S-Class or any other Mercedes model. Brake pedal, it's so numb. Look, I've been a Mercedes driver for a long period of time. The first Mercedes I've driven was 190. I was probably 10 years old. This is the first time where I get to experience a brake pedal that's this unintuitive, to put it softly. You keep pushing on it, nothing happens, it's very spongy. Your heart jumps. You think you're gonna hit the car in front of you, and then you put all your force to push it down, and then it brings you to a complete stop. I don't know, very strange. It probably has to do with something, the recuperation. Right now my recuperation is set to normal, so it's not even in the aggressive setting or stuff like that. But the owner told me, speaking about recuperation, is that unlike Tesla's, which is right there next to me, by the way, Mercedes has done something genius. So they have intelligent recuperation. So based on the speed, etc., the car can define how much recuperation is there, so you don't have to set it to aggressive or normal and live with it all the time. So that is really great. But when you drive it, it feels like an E-Class, even like C-Class. No other S-Class has as good of a steering as this one. Even the AMG, even the S65, which is like a superb machine for day-to-day, for the money that they're currently asking for it, EQS makes a lot of sense. Is it a good buy at $120,000? Absolutely not. I would hate myself for spending that type of money on a brand new EQS and then get, frankly, kind of like a mixed bag of E-Class and S-Class interior and overall build quality. I cannot help but stop thinking that this is a little higher end quality for an E-Class, but not enough of a quality or luxuriousness for an S-Class. That's the feeling I'm constantly getting when driving this car. This whole thing would make a lot of sense for like $60,000, $70,000 in an E-Class. I feel that that's my biggest issue with this car. I feel like the whole car is at the E level, but not at the S level. Okay, now that we talked about the goods and bads of the car, let's get in and start driving this car. And this is the part where you will reconsider the EQS for yourself. This is where I probably will be able to change your mind and you will consider buying one. The car is actually very, very smooth. Like I said, I'm starting to love it. We are here in stuck in the traffic. In normal like gasoline car S550, you get a little annoyed by wasting gasoline, I believe. But when you are in an EV, you kind of like don't care. It's so quiet, by the way. Fortunately, we don't have double glazed windows or anything of that nature, but it's very quiet in here, very quiet. Take a look at the steering wheel, take a look at the interior. It's in like a true Mercedes fashion. You know, it's a pleasant place to be. You get in here, at first maybe you hate screens and everything, but over time you can kind of like get over it. I don't think you can get over the fact that there are no physical buttons whatsoever. You have to get your eyes off of the road. Focus on the driving experience. In terms of driving experience, it is fun. You put your foot down, man, I think that this like EV acceleration thing, I don't know, charming and contagious. You want to keep doing that all day long, even though there is no sound. Strange, right? I drive an AMG, I thought like acceleration without sound made absolutely no sense, but it's actually fun. Woo-hoo! I don't know why EV drivers always drive like grandmothers. This car goes, man. This car goes. And S550 definitely doesn't have this acceleration. Now, which is smoother, S550 or EQS? Oh, by the way, I love that when you push the brakes really hard, it puts itself in the auto hold mode. So you don't have to keep pushing the brakes at the street light or anything like that. So yeah, I switched the recuperation to intelligent and I'll try to demonstrate it to you. So right now, because there are no cars in front of me, right? When I lift off, there's almost no recuperation. It keeps going because it senses that why would you slow down if there's no car in front of you? It just coasts. That's, by the way, is another feature that most EVs do not have, the coasting feature. But if I get close to the car in front of me, right? And then I lift off the accelerator. It actually tries to slow me down very aggressively to keep the distance between me and the car. So that's amazing. I don't know if you could feel it, but I took this turn rather sharply, just handled so well. To summarize, S550 versus EQS, which one would I choose? I think if I had another gasoline car, fun car for the soul, and I was looking for a luxury, I would 100% get an EQS, given that they're about the same price. They're gonna depreciate like a brick, both of them. EQS is probably gonna be more reliable long-term. The battery is gonna last a long time. I know it's gonna be expensive when it fails, but it's not going to see any other failures that the gasoline engine might see, such as oil leaks, transmission issues, although Mercedes transmissions are fine. Long story short, for day-to-day, for the money, for the used car money that they're asking, you get a lot of value for your money. Two things that I just mentioned: interesting polarizing design combined with lack of luxury touches that the S63 or S65 or S550 have is what turned people off, and the reason why EQS did not sell well. So give a chance to EVs, guys. Don't be just anti-EV for the sake of it. When you drive an EV, you actually start understanding it. You start loving it. So have you driven an EV, actually driven? I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments.